All right, we're starting again. We're starting again. I am Mungo Dark Matter, and welcome to Dark Matters. I've been just having problems. I'm trying to stream some Minecraft. I do some Minecraft streaming and some Minecraft videos on YouTube. And there's a cow in the background, of course. And I thought I would start to do the same thing. I thought, what I do on YouTube is I kind of review some of the Minecraft worlds that you can get, and I thought I'd build one just for the heck of it. And so I'm going to build one in where's our screen there? Wrong thing. I want that so that I'm on there as well. I thought I'd build a world using Windows 10 edition of Minecraft and see what that's like. I started to yesterday. I got a call in the middle, and I was having some problems because really, even though I go into Minecraft Windows 10 edition, and I kind of review and walk through some of the worlds that are built, I'm not really, a lot of the videos that I do with commands and stuff are in the Java version. So I noticed there were some problems here in the Windows 10 edition. And I kind of thought maybe I should just go back to the Java edition and do it. But let's do it in Windows 10. Maybe we'll do one in Windows Java edition as well eventually. Well, there's a skeleton or something out there, isn't there? I'm not even sure what texture pack this is right off the top of my head. Can I go to settings and see? What texture pack we have? Maybe, maybe not. I can't remember where it is. Do I know? Yes, no, maybe so. Difficulty. Okay, this is a realm. I'm not really sure what. Well, let's neither here or there. Let's go in here and let's. I've got cheats on so that I can set the time and get to daylight. Time set 0. Is that right? Yes, that's right. All right, so that I can kind of change the time as we're moving along here. Anyway, so I thought I'd build a world, and we'll do it in creative mode. Let me make sure we go game mode and creative. Mode creative. All right. Now, one thing that's really kind of bad about Windows 10 edition of Minecraft is there's no like F3 in Java. I think that's the right key. Will show you like your coordinates. It's the debug screen. So the only reason you want to get your coordinates, or there are several reasons you might want to, but one reason is if you want to use the fill command, which actually works in Windows 10 edition. You want to know where you're standing so that you can kind of figure out where you're building or filling in. Look at this cow. What is wrong with you, man? There's all of this space here. You see all this space? You don't see that? All of this space out here. You could have that. What a scary looking face. Cow face. I had to find out what pack this is later. I think this is Chroma, isn't it? I think it's Chroma. I think it's the Chroma pack, because I think I loaded that last. I don't know. Anyway, so the problem is so there's no F3. So what you can actually do is you can do a command and go TP, and then just go tilde, 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 and that will TP you. It doesn't really TP you anywhere because tilde, tilde, tilde is your actual current coordinate. So we're at 8371. 190.95, so we're like 73 up above sea level, or Minecraft sea level. And so anyway, we can build it in creative mode, and at some point I kind of would like to possibly turn it over to survival mode once I build up some resources and build up maybe some farms. So maybe we should start with a farm. I don't have any tools or anything, but I am in creative mode, so I can get any tool I want. Actually, I can fly, too. And this looks actually like a pretty good area to start. And this area is kind of cool. Wait a minute, there's some mountains here. I don't want to be up here in the snow biome. It snows over there. Not that I have anything against that. It's just, well, it's annoying, all right? I like this hill here, as far as maybe building a structure there to start with. And we've got some flat land down here, which would be pretty good for farming and such. In fact, even maybe these terraces would be good for that. So I want to look into that. I want to figure out that. But basically, the idea is you build in. What is that? It's like a fallen tree. I've never seen that before. Now that is really cool. Is that what we call an anomaly, or is that just like a characteristic thing? It does look like a tree that's been chopped down and fell over. That's probably a new thing. I don't ever remember seeing that, or maybe it's just very rare, but that is pretty cool. I may just leave that there. I might build a little monument around it. Unless I find a lot more, and then I'll figure, well, maybe not. So now here's a good place to like build a port, wouldn't it be? Right here. Maybe a port out here. I'm not sure where I'll build. Well, this is kind of nice around here. Maybe we'll build a port out here. I think we want to build a railroad too while we're at it. I want to also, but if I'm going to go over to maybe survival mode at some point, I want to build some things that would help with that. Like for instance, an iron farm. Now I did a video on YouTube, and I probably had to watch that myself to make sure I do it right, of how to build a iron farm. And you can generate an iron golem if it's in a village. And a village is defined by like the number of doors, which I have to look up, but I think it's like 20 in 20 villagers or something like that, or 20 doors in 10 villagers or something like that. Anyway, if you put villagers down and doors down, columns will start to generate every so often. And you can actually build a golem generator because when you kill the golem, they turn into iron. So they turn into iron ingots, I guess. Alright, so this is the snowy area, which we really don't want to go around. And this is the area we're thinking of putting docks, possibly. This would be a good, like, port city, really, wouldn't it? This is a randomly generated world, incidentally. I didn't generate it from a seed or anything. All right. This is okay. As long as I don't get lost, there's a good possibility I will get lost. I don't want to go out too far. Just seeing what other types of biomes are nearby. I really like kind of like canyon biomes, but this is just a default configuration because I want to really kind of work on what I kind of get. Now this is a much more hospitable area, I think. Then it looks pretty cool though. It's much more hospitable than perhaps a canyon area might be. I think we're going out into the ocean now. Let's see, trying to draw its way out here. So we don't know what's across here. Here's some more land. Probably gone too far out already because I don't know that I'll be able to get out back, but we'll give it a try. So there's water here. All right, lots of water. And the new version, I don't know if the latest version of Minecraft has been released yet. I'm not sure. It's been a few weeks since I've really played Minecraft, although I did yesterday a bit. And the newer version has like fish and stuff in it, which I suppose if we went down here we would see. It's called the ocean. And there doesn't seem to be anything in here. It's called the ocean. That sounded like a zombie underwater. I don't see any fish or anything. There are plants down there too, in the new version. Now, I don't know if they'll generate in this world. I guess they will start to spawn later. Maybe, perhaps. Once it is updated. right, so we're lost. Now, so when we're working in creative mode, and we get lost, and we want to go back to the spawn point, the only way to do it is really change the game mode while you're flying. You go to survival, and we should fall to Earth and die, and then we can respawn. So this is the starting point once again. So let's go back to game mode. Survival. No, not survival. We want creative. And let's just start, shall we? The first thing I usually do is, since I'm on the spawn point right now, let's go here. What I try to do is I try to new tools, weapons, nightfall, navigation, crafting table, enchanting fireworks, cauldron. Oh, look at all this stuff here. Portal, cheats, engineering droppers, jukebox, the end. Wow, look at all that. I didn't even know that was there. It's kind of the help screen there. What I usually do, as I was about to say, is I usually put a beacon up. So let's find a few things here, shall we? We need diamond blocks. We're going to go with the diamond blocks here. And you know what? While we're here, let's get some diamond pickaxes. And let's get some diamond hatchets. What's this? That's a diamond hoe. And that's a diamond. All right, that's a diamond. Let's get diamond sword too. We'll just hold on to these in case we actually go into survival mode at various points. The other thing we want is a beacon. So let's get some beacons. We'll get 64 of those. Might as well, right? And then we're going to look for, we've got like stained glass, right? Blue stained glass. And I like to do, let's use green. I like to use the stained glass when I put a beacon down, because I'm building now in creative mode, so it doesn't take me anything to build a beacon. If I were in survival mode, I would use something else as a marker. But I like to put markers down, whether they're just stones, excuse me, or stone towers with torches. That works really well. But if I'm in creative mode, I can use a beacon. And when I use a beacon, I like to color them different colors. Because using stained glass, because that allows me to know, oh, well, the blue beacon is where my spawn point is. The the red beacon is where my main headquarters is, whatever. What is that? We wanted time set 0 again. Well, the day just goes by in Minecraft, doesn't it? All right, now I've made a mistake, because usually I think, let's put this down here. No, we don't need that right now. Let's use red for our oh, look, I dropped this, so I'll be able to pick this back up. All right, so it's in my inventory somewhere. All right, so I didn't really want to move from there, but such is life. What we're going to do is we're going to take these diamonds here. Oops. To set up our beacon. Seems like a waste of good coal right there, but such is life, right? And just fill this all in. All right, this should be good. I should be able to put just a beacon here and it should go off, right? Can't be anything above the beacon except stained glass you can put above there. What you got to do is we've got to actually put a stained glass here, over, and then like that, because we can't put it directly on top. And it colors it red, see that? So we're going to use red as the kind of default color of our spawn point. That's what I usually use. No, not building a diamond necessarily. I'm just setting up a beacon right now so I can find my spawn points when I go back. I like to put out things so that I like to put beacons down and color the beacons with stained glass to show like where certain things are, like the spawn point, like where I would spawn normally in the game, and like where the city is. Oh yeah, you can color it any color with that. Yeah, I found that out a while ago. It's pretty cool. So that way you can color the beacons different colors, so you can, you know, kind of color code them, so you know if they're all the same color, they don't mark as well. So it's pretty cool. So you can color it any color. Like for instance, let's knock this off. If I wanted it to be green, I could put green there. It takes a second, and then it turns green like that. So it's pretty cool. But it's a cool trick just so you can find stuff. Works best, of course, when you're in creative mode because you have as many. You don't have to build the beacons. Take a lot of diamonds and stuff to build themselves. And I guess it takes. It looks like there's also obsidian in there, so it takes a while to build a beacon in survival mode. And if you wanted to use diamonds, you don't need to use diamond blocks, but you could use iron blocks, but that takes a while to build up all those in survival mode too. But when you're in creative mode, it's a good marker. So anyway, let's I'm gonna head out here, back here. We were looking over here before, and so I can always see that. Beacon's a little, where did it go? I've already, oh there it is. There's the beacon right there. It's usually a little brighter red. I think it's this whatever texture pack I have is making it kind of darker. It's usually brighter red if we change the texture pack in here. All right. So I can't even see that anymore. Where is it? You could see him a little farther than that usually. There it is. There it is. Yeah, usually it's a brighter red. I guess it's just this texture pack the way it is. It's a little dark. With a standard pack that's much brighter. Alright. We'll go out here. I think we want to go this way. I think I'm going to lay another beacon down here. Just to kind of guide my way back, at least temporarily. I might move this one. There's nothing really here, but I'm going to just do this one standard color and see if we can see this any farther. That's interesting, this texture pack, which I think is the chroma texture pack, I can't remember. It's kind of has a dark beam. It's trying to make the beam look more 3D, so it's kind of a little darker than it might normally be. All right, so we can see that from a ways away. The other thing I do to mark things a lot of times is I'll go up onto mountains and I'll stack. I'll do this. Let me show you. It can be down here or it can be on a mountain. I'll stack, particularly in a high point, I'll stack stones and I'll put torches around them. And that way at night I can find my way back. That works great in survival mode as well. Okay, this is what we wanted to find. This water over here. I think I'm gonna build around here to start off with. Yeah, so for example, let's go back in here into the inventory. Let's move these out because we don't really need this stuff right now because we're in creative mode. If we go back into here, where is it? Into blocks. So we got a stone, moss stones, bricks. Well, we could use that. That's decorative. That's not what I'm looking for. Let's look for stone. All right. Where is it? That cobblestone, stone. Where's the regular cracked stone? Stone bricks. That's what I want. So if we had that, and if we get a torch, sure we'll get it right from here. We can go over here, and we can actually we can put a tower up of any size, and this works in. Oops. This works in survival mode really well because this does not use up any really valuable or hard to get resources. But if you put a torch on a top and a torch on each side of this top thing, you can put more up and down the sides if you want. Oops. So if we put another one up here, one here, one here, and yeah, we got them all. So we've got them around every side. So we get away from there, but at night, which is kind of a critical thing when you're in like survival mode and it gets dark, you get lost and you can't get back to your house or your little castle or fort or wherever you're kind of holed up at. Let's just shift the time here. So, and I think we just go to call it night, right? We can usually see this a lot farther away because you'll be able to see these, see how it lights it up. So you can find it from a distance usually, particularly when it gets really, really dark. And so you can see this from away, and because you have it on every side, no matter what angle you go at, you can see it from a distance. And so this doesn't take up any resources, really. I mean, it's easy to get stone or stone brick. You can just use cobblestone to build this, or whatever brick you have. You can even build it out of dirt. And as long as you have torches, which are pretty basic, you can build this, and you can... Here it's in a forest, so we had to build it up a little bit higher so we can see above it. But like in the desert or in the plains, particularly, you just set these down, and they don't even have to be that high, and you put the torches on them, you can see them from a distance. And so that's a really cool way, you know, to guide yourself around a map, particularly in survival mode, so you can find your way back to things. And it's less expensive than doing a beacon. And you can even put them on mountains, particularly, or if you go up to the top of a hill, you can see that from a distance. And even in creative mode, it can guide you back because you can, you know, you can see those while you're flying from a farther distance. And they're basically, you're like building your own landmarks. The Romans used to put something down called a milestone, and that would show that a mile had passed on the road. And you still see that to this day on highways. You'll see markers that say mile, and they'll have a number on it, and you can keep track of how many miles you've gone by that. All right, so let's get back to kind of morning. Oops. I want to do that. Let's get out of there. And so I'm starting out, like I said, in creative mode. At some point, I want to turn this over probably to survival mode, just to make it a little interesting. By using cheat mode and being able to go between creative and survival, you can kind of make some things interesting that a little faster than you'd normally be able to, because you don't have to gather all the resources, because you've all the resources you need. And then you can always, after you build things, you can go back into survival mode and go into gathering and see what's going on. But what you can also do is you can like produce, for example, farms and such. And what do we want to... So you can produce things that will help you create or farm or generate resources in survival mode. And the advantage to it is you can kind of, when you The flying is really good. Yeah, it's kind of fun to gather resources in. I'll delete whatever resources get used. Oh, that's a good idea. Yeah, it's kind of. I like to build a lot in survival mode myself and gather up the stuff, but there's certain things like when I build like railroads and stuff, that I like to just do in creative mode because that's a lot of iron. However, I have on my YouTube channel, I have a video on how to make an iron farm by generating iron golems and creating iron out of them, and so you can actually generate an iron farm to get enough iron to do it. But railroads are one thing that you have to. Iron is hard to gather that much for a railroad. So usually when I mess around with railroads, it's much faster to go into creative mode. But you don't always have to stay in creative or survival mode. You can move back and forth and kind of. Minecraft is about making the game kind of your game, you know. So you can play. You set up the rules. So if you want to always gather resources, you can. If you want to build certain things, like if you want to build a huge castle out of obsidian, it would take forever in survival mode. But you could do it in creative mode and just concentrate on the building. So that's a nice thing about having both modes and being able to switch back and forth, definitely. Let's see what we've got here. So I want to go back to here, I think. What type of wood is this? Cobblestone. This is odd right here. Alright, let's see here. What do we want? Oak planks? Spruce planks? Birch wood. Well, let's go with oak. At least for now. And so let's see here. Let's just build a little dock out here. Nothing fancy, just a simple dock. Build those down a little bit. At this point, that's more of a marker than anything else because I want to have a dock here somewhere. Where's this? All right, let's see here. So we got some horses out here. Got plenty of birch. That's pretty good, actually. Yeah. Some stuff is hard to build. Some people have really good ideas. One thing some people use a lot is like fences, buttons, and levers. Oh, there's a cow. They use fences, buttons, and levers to kind of make things a little fancier than they normally would look. All right, so let's go out here. And I'm going to just start a basic farm out here. Now what I always like to do when I build a farm, plants grow faster by waters. So usually what I do is I think it will actually go out 2 or 3 from each one of these. I usually put them a little closer. But I'll dig little trenches and put water in them. Even in survival mode, I'll get the first thing I'll try to do is get a bucket and just go to a body of water and fill these up. Of course, in creative mode, this is a little faster. Yeah. So, oh, you know what we need? I don't have a hoe. Pick that back up. Now, how shall we build this? Hold on a second here. Let's go back here and go for water. You get a water bucket. Alright, let's drop these here. I'll just pick them back up again. Alright, so if we have a water bucket and we fill it here, and fill this in, fill in the middle, it should be pretty level. No, not quite. There and there, they're totally level. And so these patches of ground, oh, it's already gotten hard there. These patches of ground, it should fill in like 3 over, I think. Yeah, three blocks for water. I think you're right. I think it says 3 blocks over. So we can actually go farther apart. So what we could do is actually put a stone path here so we have some place to walk. Let me get some dirt. Coarse, I don't want coarse dirt. Let's see here. Dirt back in here. So we got 3 on each. Do we have 3? Yeah, 3 on either side. 1, 2, 3. And then we're gonna put another path here. That just kind of makes it easier to walk in between them. Usually I just put paths of just water in there because you can walk through the water. But that gives you a place to walk without treading over the paths. Well, you can see over here it's beginning to go to the next. Yeah, and it's gone 3 over, so that's right. It's 3. And let's just... Oops. It's okay. Okay, so this should give us a nice pattern. So if we continue to follow this pattern, the water will go to all of our blocks, and then we'll have a path on them. Also, the nice thing about this pattern is it kind of helps you keep straight where the blocks are. So let's see what we've got. Let's go to seeds. See what we shall. What will we plant? Seeds. Pumpkin seeds, melon seeds, beetroot seeds. Let's start with these. I believe these are just wheat, right? I really like to grow pumpkins down. Let me grow some pumpkins, and let's get some melon seeds. It's dark here, so let's toggle the time of day too. All right, so Let's go with this. Makes it easy to when you have these paths. It makes it easy to replant the seeds too without stepping on the ground. You can reach them. You can reach the wall. Of course, we're in creative mode now, so you just have to fly over it. So that's very nice. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start to build some farm some stuff here. So if I go into survival mode, I'll have a supply of food out here. Now this is really what I'm doing right now. We could do really, really easy in survival mode as well, because this is just wheat seed, and wheat seed is just from grass, and because actually wheat is a grass. So you just have to, in survival mode, if we just kept on hitting grass, of course you'd get the seed. And so that's wheat is one of the easiest things to initially grow. You make bread out of it. It's really good. The other vegetables are a little harder to find sometimes, depending on where you're at. But grass pretty much grows everywhere in Minecraft. Alright, so if we go and go 1, 2, 3 over here, kind of come to the end of a path here. So let's put a little dirt right there. And what we'll do here is put some water in this. Doesn't look that level to me. Alright, okay. Yeah, we'll go there, and I think what we'll do is we'll go ahead and build up 3 more blocks here, since we have some dirt. Yeah, oh. What do we have? Hold on a second. No, I got rid of my blocks. Okay. Let's see here. I can move these out of here for now. Alright, let's see here. Cobblestone, stone, brick, monster egg. Don't want the monster egg brick, definitely. Alright, let's go with this right here. Alright, so let's go back. And so we'll take the hoe right here and just let's take some, let's put some melon seeds down here. Actually, probably pumpkins would have been better. We'll put that over on the next half. Alright, and then so we'll go over here and plant some pumpkins in. Where's the pumpkin seeds? Alright, right here. Alright, that should grow pretty fast. This is pretty much how, when you find a village and there's a farm in, it's pretty much a similar system. I don't know if it's the exact same number of blocks. I think they actually have, they may have only 2 rows of plants in between the water or something. All right. So that's looking pretty good already. Oh yeah, yeah. I've done it, but I didn't. Before I even knew what a monster egg was, I put it down, and I'm like, I wonder what this is, and I didn't bother to look it up, and it was like, why are there all these monsters coming around, and where are they appearing from? And it's like, oh, it's that brick. It's the brick that I did. The monster eggs, what those are for is like if you build a world and you want it to go into survival. I think you put those down so that it will generate stuff in your world, that in your survival world. So it's a cool thing, but it's not something that you really generally want, unless you're trying to set up like a trap or something, or a challenge of some sort. Yeah. All right. Cool. We got like a basic thing here, so we can kind of follow this pattern and continue that. But for now, that's pretty good. Now, I have to look up how I built a golem trap, or there's a way. There's a way to build a golem farm, or an iron farm. It generates golems is what it does. And let's try something here. I don't know if I'll get to finish this today, because I may have to look up how to do it exactly. When you build an iron farm that's like generating it through golems, the thing you got to be aware of. See if I'm doing this right. The thing you got to be aware of is you can't have them closer than, I think, 256 blocks. So you can build multiple ones, but they have to be a pretty good distance away from each other. So what I'll do is I'm going to just start to build the structure at least, and get it out basically. Now, building one of these things is a challenge in survival mode because you need villagers. So you have to lead villagers into this thing. And for a village to have a golem, it has to have so many doors. I think it's like 20 doors or something. Let's use sandstone for part of this. Alright. Where's our sandstone? I think that's what we want. Let's use sandstone here. Oh, that would have been bad in survival mode. It just sounded bad in... Alright, so that's going to be the center right there. What I'm going to do also is I'm going to get some brick. I like to use different blocks to mark things. As far as, so I can... It's easier to keep... If you use all the same block, it's harder to keep count. Like if you need to do 10 blocks and they're all the same color, a lot of times it's hard you lose track after right around 10. So let's, where's a brick? Let's use some brick on here. Brick. I'm going to put that here. I'm going to pull these seeds out for now, because I kind of already started the farm that I wanted to. I will probably, now that we should have. These we should have for building. I'll get back to adding more farm stuff in there, but right now that's pretty much enough to sustain at least a single person in the world. If we go into survival, we'll have plenty of food. Although I guess we should build a furnace so we can cook bread since we have wheat. Alright, so I'm going to put this around here. Alright, so this will help us keep track. Let's change the time set to 0. I can turn off the rain, but every time I turn off the rain, it turns back on usually. So I usually don't bother to turn the downpour off. Alright. So this will give us an idea. Alright, so we have 1, 2, 3. So there are 5 here, and there are 2 more, so that's 9. Alright, so I think I want to go out. I think I want to go out. How many do I want to go out? There's 6, 7 here. Okay, so I need another row. So let's put an extra, to make this, even this up. Put a row there. 1, 2, 3. So, okay, and then we're going to put a row here. So now this is a square. It's a square of 9. And so we're going to put one more band around it, I think. Well, maybe 2. Maybe 2 more. Let's make it a brick, too. Hey, how you doing? Alright, let me see if I can finish this. See if I can remember exactly how I did this before. Oh, you're from Hungary, yeah? That's cool. I'm from the U.S. How you doing? I'm trying to build a iron generator is what I'm trying to do. I'm in creative mode right now. But I want to be able to go into survival mode and still create, to have some farms set up for it. Oh man. Now, we need to have a certain number of doors. Doors here to attract golems, and we need a certain number of villagers around this thing. And oh, you have a friend living in the U.S. or in Hungary? Let's see here. Okay. Have a good day. I'll see you later. All right. And where are we at? All right. So what I want to do is... Oh, nice. Bye. I'll see you later. Have a good day. Yeah. All right. So I think what I'm going to do... How does this work? We want to put out... If I recall correctly. And I really dislike the sound the villagers make. I really do. That's some of the sounds of some of the creatures make in Minecraft are maddening. I think what we want is actually glass now. Yeah, I like to put a pattern there so I can figure out the number of blocks, and plus it looks better. What we have to do, and like I said, I don't remember the exact number, so I might have to adjust this. We put things on the outside of this that will hold little like rooms on the outside that hold villagers, and we're going to make the top of this tower. The walls are going to be doors so that we have enough doors. And if you have enough villagers and enough doors, an iron golem will generate. And then what we want to do is we're going to put... Once again, if I've messed this, I might have messed up the numbers on this, so I might have to adjust it. We put water on each corner so that the water flows towards the center here. And it washes the iron golem down this hole. After it's generated. And when it falls down the hole, I can't remember if it's the height that did it, or I think you put some lava there or something. And it kills the iron golem, and it generates iron there. Or it generates, when you kill an iron golem, it generates iron blocks. And you actually put a hopper down there too, from what I remember, so that when the iron blocks fall in, it will go into a chest. And you can sit there and it will just... If you left this world running like 24 hours, you could leave your house and come back later or whatever. You could leave your house, and I've left it on before, and it will like fill up the entire chest with a lot of iron, because each slot in the chest will hold up to like 64. So you get a lot of iron that way. I did a video on that a few years ago, so I haven't done it. I've always wanted to put one of these in a world, and I haven't done it. And you know what? That was a Java version, so I'm not 100% sure this will work in Windows 10 version, which is what we're running right now, but we'll find out. And I'm pretty sure it will. That's the thing about this. I'm building this in Windows 10 edition now, and I'm really more used to, even though I've done some stuff in 10, I'm more experienced. I'm more experienced with the Java version of it. So I usually dig a hole to bedrock and fancy it up later. Yeah, you can always, when you're in survival mode, particularly, I don't spend a lot of time making it too fancy, but yeah, you can always fancy it up later, definitely. One time I actually, I think it was on a Minecraft server though. One time I actually built a tower, a huge tower. It took a long while to do, but on each level I put a different thing. So I had like pumpkin and melons and wheat on different levels, and then I had chickens on one level, so that so I could get eggs. I had like everything in this tower. It was pretty cool, and I even had at one point I was able from the server I was able to get like a spawner, so I could spawn like skeletons. So I even think I had an experience farm in there, or yeah, I think I had an experience farm that would kind of kill them automatically. It's pretty cool. All right, so we need glass blocks now, I believe. Glass. We just need regular glass. Don't need nothing fancy. That's a night again. I should have probably said, I think there's a setting on Windows 10 to just make it daylight all the time. I don't really like to do that though. I think you only need to put this on two sides, if I recall correctly. This is going to be where we set the villagers. I think we need 20 villagers. I can't remember the number. I just can't remember the numbers. I'll put this temporarily here. The reason I'm putting that temporarily there is because I want to see if this actually generates a golem, or if we can generate. Once we generate a golem, then I'll remove that and figure out how to turn it into iron. So that's for the village. Yeah, in survival mode, you're supposed to put like 20 villagers in these things. And how you get 20, lure 20 villagers up there? Oh, if you get two, I guess they will spawn eventually. So if you have at least two, so you only really had to get two, I guess, up there. But still, it seems like that would be quite the challenge. All right, so now I think we need doors. I think we need doors. Where are the doors? What door shall we use? Let's just go with the old oak door, shall we? Oops. Let me think about this a second. I think what we want to do we can't put doors here because the villagers would get out. We don't want them to get out because they can open doors. So we pretty much want, this is pretty much like a little cage for the villagers, basically. So we're going to put that there. We definitely don't want, once we spawn these villagers, we don't want them running all over the place, definitely. Alright, so there are the little doors for the villagers. And I think what we do is we go like this. And I'm not sure it makes that much difference where we put these. Basically want to build some doors above this, I think. Alright, so let's see here. And then what we're going to start to do is this. Oh, that's the wrong one. Put it here. What we're going to do is build doors all around up here. And I don't think they have to be up this high. I'm trying to remember how I did it before. But it doesn't have to be exact. The main thing is the number of doors and the number of villagers. It can be more. It doesn't have to be an exact number, but it can't be less than we need. Now I make this glass just so we can see how many villagers there are. Keep an eye on them, really. I don't think you need to make that glass either. It looks a little better too if it's glass. It looks a little less monolithic. Let's see here. So once this gets done, if I do it right, golems will be generated. And the reason they'll be generated is because a village of a certain size with a certain number of villagers will generate a golem, an iron golem. And that number is actually based on, the size of the village is actually based on the number of doors, not the number of buildings. So you can increase the size of a village that you find and so that it will generate an iron golem by simply putting more doors in it or building more buildings with doors in it. And once the number of villagers gets to a certain amount, and I think the number of villagers may be linked to the number of doors as well as how many villagers there will be, because I guess they like to open and close doors. But we are putting these doors out of their reach so they don't open and close them constantly. Oops. And that's the thing, even in a village, if you want to increase the number of doors in it, they can be right next to each other. They don't have to, you don't have to have, you can build an entire wall out of doors, which is basically what we're doing right here. And this is probably more than enough doors than we need, but I think we need a certain size. Not, once again, it's not exact, it's just what works out best. And you can make as many of these as you want, but they have to be something like 256 blocks away from each other. Alright. We'll make a top for that later. I don't think the top is absolutely necessary. Now, I think I only have these boxes on two sides, or only need them on two sides. We need villagers, though. So instead of going and finding villagers somewhere, we're going to just spawn them using an egg. What is this? Oh, we don't want zombie villagers. Just a particular preference. I don't think actually zombie villagers would work in the case that we need them. What do we have here? 1, 2, 3, 4. I think we need 20 villagers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I think we got 10 here. We'll put them on the other side. If we fill up the other side here. All right, now it can take 5 or 10 minutes, I think, for one of these things to generate. So let me look at while we're waiting for that. Can I actually get out of here with? Oops. Well, let's go here and. Let me look up real quick here. Let me look this up real quick here. Okay. To generate an iron golem, spawn naturally in villages. It requires 10 villagers and at least 20... Wait a minute. It requires 10 villagers and at least 21 houses counted as doors. Chances of spawning is 1 in 7,000, which means around every 6 minutes one will generate. So let's resume game. Every 6 minutes. If we did this correctly, we should find an iron golem within 6 minutes, is what it's telling us here. Alright. Resume. So we can work on something else for the next 6 minutes and see. Oh, jeez. Zombies are around. Now we're in creative mode. What do we care? What do we want to do? Time set. Oh, we might want to put what time we want it set to, huh? Set. Oh, I did it again. Time set 0, which is dawn. Alright. We should see a golem appear there within the next. It's been more than 6 minutes. We have more than 20 doors, right? And we have more than 10 villagers. The question is where it should spawn in the center there, I think. I'm wondering if they don't have to be separated. You can have a wall of doors like this. So literally, you don't need to put blocks in between them. They just have to exist within a given area of what's. I don't know how close they have to be together, but if they're this close together, it will consider it. So you could build a structure like this, just with doors and walls. If your village is too small for a golem, you can make 20 doors. You count the doors that are there already, and you add as many doors as you need, but you can put more doors down than 21. And then as long as there are 10 villagers, you're set. And most villages, I think, have close to, even a small one would have close to 10. And I think the more doors you put in, I think the more villagers come in, if I remember correctly, because I think they like opening and closing doors. And the question that I have, though, I'm not sure if it's... We may have to go back into survival mode. We may have to go into survival mode. Let me see what time it is. Let me time 6 minutes while we're working on something else. So it's 2:35 now. So at 2:41 we should see, or before 2:31 we should see a golem. But what I'll do, I'm gonna build another little tower here around this, just for grins and giggles. I'm gonna build it up above it so that we can look at this. And then if we have to go into survival mode, we can work on other things while we do it. Alright, so let's go down here and build another kind of structure here. I guess we'll start with these. And I think I'll go up to here. You know what I'll do? Here, I'm gonna put brick. How many do we have in between here? We have 4, I guess. All right, so we have 1. 4. And we should have. And we should have. Try this again. And we'll have brick here. Oops, I want that. See if we see anything in here. See an iron golem? No. Well, there we go. Don't see anything in there yet. What time is it? Should see something in another couple minutes. Otherwise, we'll go into. We may have to go into survival mode for it to work. see anything yet. Okay, it's been 6 minutes. So we need to put it into survival mode. Let's see here. What I'll do is I'm just going to build a platform up here. Let's just build this out here real quick. Alright, I don't see any iron gum. Which is, of course, unfortunate. Alright. So what I'm going to do is... land down here, and let me get a couple of things here first before I go. Where's cobblestone? Couple cobblestone. Yeah, we don't want the cobblestone with a monster egg. Alright. Set the time, set 0. Let's go into survival mode. I think it might have to be in survival mode to do this. And I will try not to fall off of here, but the timer still goes. Even if I die, it doesn't make any difference. So we'll see if it reappears. We'll see if it appears, and while we're doing that, we can probably... I got this stone so that I can fill in, so I can do some stuff up here while I'm working. Although I really have no way of getting down from here real safely at the moment, but that's alright. Oops. I need a pickaxe now. I can no longer just break stuff. Still don't see anything. Let's look at the time here real quick. Alright, 2:46. Alright, let's just... Oops. Didn't mean to do that. Alright, still don't see an iron golem down there. What time is it? There must be something slightly wrong. But I will wait a little bit longer here and work on a couple more things. Nothing. Oh, that's cobblestone. I don't want cobblestone there. Oh, that's alright. Doesn't make any difference. That does kind of, actually. What I need to do, I need to use... Can I reach there? Okay, I can now reach there. I need to really use dirt here so I can get rid of it easily. While we're looking, let's go up here and see if we've got an iron golem yet. I don't see an iron golem. What time is it? Should have one within 2 more minutes at most. That is odd. I'm not sure what's wrong here. I'm gonna have to look up what the deal is, or maybe it won't generate. Might not generate in Windows 10. It should though. This could be a problem to research. I may just have to research this. Let's see here what we got here. Oops. Put this over here. See what it says here. Iron golems spawn naturally in villages, natural or player made, provided there are 10 villagers and at least 21 doors. Or 21 houses counted as doors. The chance of spawning one is 1 in 7,000 per tick, which averages about 6 minutes. Doesn't say if it works in Windows 10 or not, though. Let's see. I thought that might be one. Says locations. Choose a good location. Don't build it far from your home or main base because you want the golems to spawn even when you are not at home. An ideal spot is on top of your existing home or close to it. Remember, villagers need direct access to sunlight within 5 blocks straight ahead of them. Gather resources as it follow the for a core base. Oh, got you. Place the door. What's that? Oh, that's... doesn't seem to be generating anything for some reason. That is very odd. I think we have everything right. There must be something we're missing. I think that's where we have it. Alright, this I'm going to have to research more on, so I'll take this up next time in the next live stream. We're close. There's just some little buggy thing wrong with it. And maybe it's the location. Maybe I need to put the doors lower. Or maybe I'm near something that I'm not supposed to be near. Alright. Well, that is it, I guess, for this stream for now. Be sure to follow if you're not already following, so you'll get notified when I have my next live stream. I usually live stream during the week and on weekends. I'm Mungo Dark Matter, and this has been Dark Matters. And whatever you do, enjoy playing Minecraft, and I will see you next time. I'll roll out some reruns after this. I'll roll out some reruns after this. All right, let's see. How do we get out of here? Have a good rest of your weekend.